I don't think that the Menendez brothers should be released from prison. My take is going to cover specifically the Menendez brothers and Gypsy Rose. If you don't know of them, I will link a few videos down below, but in short, the Menendez brothers are two men who lived with their parents in Beverly Hills, California. They were abused by their father, Jose Menendez, and Kitty Menendez, their mother, was complacent and knew of the abuse. Menendez brothers killed both of their parents, shot them dead in their living room in their own home. Gypsy Rose lived under the care of her mother, who put up a front that Gypsy was sick and would give her pills, and she was a completely able-bodied woman, girl at that point. Her mom put up the front that she was sick, and because this is abuse, Gypsy, and her boyfriend staged a plan to murder Gypsy's mother, and her mother is now dead and was stabbed to death by Gypsy Rose's boyfriend. This is a incredibly controversial topic, and I am expecting backlash. I don't think that the Menendez brothers should be free for multiple reasons. I am aware of what they went through down to the sexual abuse. I didn't watch the Netflix show that Ryan Murphy made of them titled Monsters because I didn't want my view of the Menendez brothers to be skewed in any way, and Ryan Murphy's filmography and what he puts out and chooses to put out on true crime cases are usually very skewed and wrong, incredibly. So I am glad that I didn't watch that show.
Eric Menendez is known to be shy and capable of lying. He was also described as passive, submissive, compliant, and easily led. He would withhold information. He relied heavily on Lyle emotionally.
Is this way because of what he's been through? I'm well aware. But it makes it hard for him to walk free and for the justice system and for people to just trust him in general.
Same with Lyle Menendez. He was known to be very angry and confrontational. He was calculated, strategic, and manipulative. Also, incredibly entitled. Defense portrayed him as protective and hypervigilant. All these traits make sense when we factor in what he went through. But Lyle's personality does not help the brothers' case in any form.
I think when you have two individuals that conspire to plan to murder their parents, it can be a frightening and dangerous thing. Jose Menendez had a lot of power in Hollywood, and a lot of people argue that they wouldn't have been able to do anything because of the type of money and power and status that Jose Menendez used to hold, and just of the status of their parents in Hollywood in general. That is people assuming. When we don't have anything to back that up. If anything, we have evidence that would prove the opposite. Kitty Menendez would constantly tell the boys, don't go to the police, don't go to the enforcement. To be fair, this is all coming from the Menendez brothers, which I don't really trust. I'm not going to take their word for it, but I'm going to take everything they say with a grain of salt. Kitty Menendez, apparently, according to the brothers, would tell them not to go to the police. To protect the family's reputation. And so, right there, we have proof that if they did go to the police, something would have been done about it. Something would have happened. Especially because family members wrote in and testified in court and backed up what the Menendez brothers were saying. They didn't say anything about the sexual abuse or anything like that, but they agreed that Jose was an aggressive, angry, mean man. And so right there, that is, the family would give patterns in court that would back up what the Menendez brothers were saying. But my point here is they should have at least tried. The first thought in your head isn't, I should kill my parents. That's not a plan A. That's like plan E. That's like plan E, okay? That's not plan A. That's where my issue lies with the Menendez brothers, is the fact that their first plan was to kill their parents. Killing Jose, sure. Killing Kitty? How do we not know that she wasn't being abused? How can you... I understand, like, Kitty was in the wrong as well. She's not innocent in this. But How do we not know that Jose wasn't also abusing Kitty? If he's abusing his kids, his 2 sons, he's probably abusing his wife.
Kitty was financially dependent on Jose, and truthfully, he probably financially abused her. However, she was portrayed as being abusive herself, but she was also most likely being emotionally controlled by her husband.
Another thing is that after their parents died and the 2 brothers' inheritance came in, they spent that money like water. The brothers bought Porsches and Rolexes. They took extravagant vacations. To an outsider, it's gonna look like you killed your parents for their money. And it's a little suspicious. You kill your parents and now we're gonna go spend all their money.
Prosecution had good reasoning as to why they should be in jail, and the biggest thing is the spending of the money. They were known to be spoiled, rich kids. To prosecution, there was motive. And the motive was money that their parents weren't willing to give them when alive.
And I understand the men with power argument, but men with power can still be tried for the things they do. Diddy is sitting in a jail cell right now. He should have gotten more time, but still, I believe that the brothers did have more ammunition, no pun intended, than they thought they did against Jose. And they should have aimed it at him in a different way than they did.
If it was self-defense in the moment, then I wouldn't think they should be in jail. But it was premeditated murder. That's not self-defense.
In the case of Kitty and her death, okay, we can justify Jose's. He was a sexual abuser to his 2 kids, and okay. But Kitty, she was complicit, yes, but if we murdered every complicit adult, we'd have a lot of dead people. They were abused in horrific, awful, unspeakable ways. But abuse victims can be bad people too. Just because you're abused, it doesn't excuse everything you do. And I see a lot of people use this case in the same sentences as Gypsy Rose's case. And I bring her up because their cases can't be compared. Gypsy's walking free right now because she didn't kill anybody. She didn't conspire against her mother and then shoot her dead in cold blood. No. Gypsy's boyfriend was the one that stabbed her mother to death. Gypsy's boyfriend should be the one still in jail, and he is, rightfully so, because he killed somebody. And Gypsy's walking free, again, because she didn't kill anybody. You can't compare these cases. I think Gypsy Rose served her time in jail. However, I don't think that she should just be living life. Right now, I think that they probably should have slowly introduced her back into the world because she was in jail for a really long time. She should be in loads of therapy. This begs the question of a moral dilemma. Do all abuse victims earn the right to kill their abuser? Both Gypsy Rose and the Menendez brothers should have gone to the police before ever thinking about murdering their parents or their mom. They shouldn't have taken matters into their own hands, that's for sure. You wanna know why? The Menendez brothers are running away in jail right now, and Gypsy Rose is walking free, yes, but she's probably going insane. She is. We're watching it. Maybe I'll make a video on that. If they had went to law enforcement like they were supposed to, and they had turned to the services that are literally there and provided for these cases for abuse victims, they'd get the help and the rehabilitation that they need. We have a justice system for a reason. We have police for a reason. We have abuse hotlines for a reason. This is their job. I think it's insane that people on TikTok is a disgusting, vile place. I hate that app. There are little girls, women on TikTok, that make edits of the Menendez brothers. They act like they're these innocent men as if they didn't literally kill their parents. Something's not adding up, and I know it's really mainstream to think that the Menendez brothers should be free, but I think that challenging the mainstream beliefs is necessary, especially when they're stupid. Sorry. Sorry. Sorry, I know I'm gonna get gunned down on the street over this. Well, if you're still here, thanks for watching, and comment. Please be nice, don't be mean to me. Just because we disagree doesn't mean you have to threatened my life. I'm a little traumatized from TikTok. If you want to see a certain type of video, send me a video request in my YouTube email. I will put it below. Follow me on my other platforms, and I will see you guys soon. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Peace and love to all, except for if you murder your parents.